Hello all, I'm Colin and welcome back to my channel. After my last glitter and lasers video, which did way better than I was expecting, so thank you all for that, a couple people asked if I would ever consider covering Amberlynn Reid. At first I said, probably not unless she did something interesting, and then she did. Also, yes, I did cut my hair. I cut my hair, so if it looks bad, it was free. A little backstory, I am relatively new to the Amberverse, but because I've gotten into weight loss content over the past couple years, it was only inevitable that she would pop up from time to time. Some of the people I follow on YouTube do occasionally talk about her, but for the longest time, I even avoided their content about her. I'd seen plenty of snarky and sometimes just mean reaction thumbnails and comments about her. So I was like, no thank you. And in spite of the fact that I didn't think the people I followed would make fun of her, I still didn't want to engage with any content or with any community that just makes fun of a big girl on the internet for being big and probably cringy. Big? In my head, I assumed Amberlynn was a Tammy or Amy Slayton type, making goofy and low-effort content for an audience who only showed up to make fun of her for being fat. And don't get me wrong, I definitely do think there are people who do that. But I had no idea what iceberg lurked below. Again, I have to place the blame on a creator named Megan Ann for introducing me to Amberlynn Reid. I avoided her videos about Amberlynn completely until the history lesson video, which was released in December 2023. So yeah, I had a lot to catch up on. And honestly, I really recommend that video if you want to know what's the big deal about Amberlynn. Big? I've watched it several times. One of the reasons I relented after it kept popping up in my recommended for like a month after it was released was because it's a very long video, and I love long videos to listen to while I crochet or just during a regular work day. A movie-length video just calls to me. Like, I didn't even want to watch it. I wanted so badly to not get sucked in. I promised myself I wouldn't get sucked in. Then I started watching Zachary Michael on Megan Ann's recommendation. I watched all of Mr. Snowflake's series, and the rest is downhill from there. Another thing I promised myself was that I would never actually watch Amberlynn's channel, but I saw some interesting thumbnails for reactions today, and I decided I needed to check it out for myself. So I broke that promise for this very video. And why am I making this video? Well, that's because I'm Boo Boo the Fool. So I'm very aware of the cycle, but somehow I still thought, this time for sure. And that's probably because this is the first time I'm experiencing it in real time. There's one very important piece of lore that you need to know about Amberlynn for this video, and that's the cycle. The cycle is something people in the Amberverse discuss a lot, and even she knows about it. Basically, she's been going around in the same circle of behavior in the decade plus that she's been on YouTube. There's a pretty popular infographic someone made as well, and so you can pause to read that here. You know that old saying that the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and expecting different results? Not to be glib, but I do think this cycle that Amberlynn goes through is largely in part due to her untreated mental illness. I've mentioned before that I really like the show My 600-Pound Life, and most of those people do have to undergo therapy as part of the weight loss program. One of my criticisms of that show is that sometimes they have to undergo weight loss and even weight loss surgery before they even go to therapy. But in my opinion, you don't get to 600 pounds or 500 pounds or whatever super morbid obesity looks like on you without having some kind of disordered mentality around food. For some context, Amberlynn has been calorie counting for a little while now and has seen some success. She made it to the 400s, I think the 480s, from a starting point this time of in the lower 500s, I believe. She hadn't lost a lot for her size, but it wasn't a gain, and it was actively a decent loss.
Do a weigh-in. I'm pretty pumped. Hello.
It's ready.
Yes, it is. I've been doing pretty freaking good, you guys. So, stepping on, let's see where I'm at.
489.6 pounds.
Shut up! Wait, what? Wait, I'm gonna cry.
She did some what I eat in a day videos, some weigh-ins, and she emphasized that she's not strictly policing what she eats as long as she stays within a calorie deficit. And if you're new here, that's how I lost weight. I lost a little over 60 pounds in the past year and a half, just through calorie counting. I allow myself treats, and I didn't stress too much about macros until recently. I'm trying to get in better shape. But I really thought, okay, she gets it. She finally gets it. Lo and behold, as of just a few days ago, Amberlynn is back to eating at Olive Garden, which is probably one of the most caloric choices besides like the Cheesecake Factory, doing snack taste tests and doing a junk food haul from Trader Joe's. And suddenly she's put back on all the weight she lost. I think part of my problem is that I just didn't realize how quickly the cycle could go sometimes. I feel like it's only been like a month, if that. Is that the norm? Is this just because I'm new here? I do know she claims her highest weight was like 572, I think. So we know she's capable of sustaining a large amount of weight loss for a long time. And I can see visibly that she's lost weight from a few years ago. And to be honest, I don't think she's using slimming filters. You can argue amongst yourselves in the comments about that. I'm just so frustrated that I fell in the trap of having hope for her. And I'm also frustrated that I'm frustrated about it because I know everyone else saw it coming from a mile away. And I kind of did too, but already? Me being a complete dunce isn't the only reason I'm here though. Amberlynn brought up an excuse for her weight gain that I have heard her make before, but this time it's so much worse.
So that's very unfortunate. I am back in the 500s and it's just like, I'm super swollen. I know I am. Like I feel it in my legs.
Since she got that lipedema diagnosis, she loves to talk about how swollen she is, and that's why she gains weight so quickly. And that isn't completely inaccurate. Sure, conditions like lipedema and lymphedema do make you swell and gain weight, even if you're otherwise a normal and healthy weight.
Eating 2,900 calories makes me gain weight. It does not make me lose weight. And then people call me a liar, but I would like to explain why. So when I saw the lipedema specialist, she told me, estimation, I have about 150 pounds of lipedema on my body.
The idea that she could have 150 pounds of lipedema, girl, that's a whole me, plus some. I don't believe for a second that that specialist told her that. I mean, maybe she did, but I'm finding it exceptionally hard to believe. I don't know of a better way to say it than this.
One of your tests show that you're retaining water, okay? You're not 700 pounds of water.
Let's just say I put 350 calories in the TDEE calculator, so that comes out to 2,100 calories, which I have explained several times that is about the amount where I lose weight. Plus, I have done a lot of yo-yo dieting, which is not taken into account when you do the TDEE calculator. Not only that, but I have gone through menopause at a very young age due to uterine cancer. And when your estrogen decreases, it causes weight gain. It does for a lot of people. And my hormone levels, let's not even look into that because the TDEE calculator does not care. Due to me having uterine cancer and having a full hysterectomy, my hormone levels are crazy out of whack. So have you guys ever seen a skinny person eat tons of food with little to no activity, but they never gain weight? Well, that's because every single body is different.
There are so many misconceptions in this clip, I don't even know how to pick out a favorite. Sure, things like menopause and hormone levels do slow your metabolism, but saying they cause weight gain is such a passive way of saying that. What it really means is that you eat too much for what your body needs. Could Amberlynn's metabolism be as such that she needs a steeper calorie deficit? Sure. But what I really think is that she's just terrible at counting, like most people are. What stuck out to me also was that I've heard these arguments before, and not just from her repeatedly in the past. I've heard them from someone else too.
And then I spent an entire month eating shit and like being lazy as hell, and my body pretty much stayed the same as it did when I worked out a lot and ate super healthy, and that is made that feeling even worse.
Joke's on you. This was just a way for me to sneak in glitter and lasers through the back door.
I know that there's things I need to do, like I need to see an endocrinologist and I need to kind of look into more diverse ways to treat my lipedema, which I will eventually cover, but I need to figure it out on my own first. Over the past 2 years, I have been steadily working on making changes, and to not see any of that reversed, it's not like I get to go back, right? A lot of people get to go back because of lipedema. I don't necessarily get to. And I have to consider things like my body might just be like this.
But honestly, those clips were from some time ago, and Anna has lost some weight since then. But interestingly enough, just like Amberlynn, misinformation continues.
I'm having a flare up, everything kind of hurts, and I'm just so tired. Did that happen because you just didn't sleep well last night? You know, maybe. I don't really know what caused it. So you're just under a lot of stress. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, that could be it, but you must have just eaten something weird, right? You know what? Sure. You did it. You solved it.
In the comments of that reel, somebody asked, "What is flaring up exactly?" Anna responded, "It's different for different people. For me, I get really thirsty and gain 20 to 40 pounds in inflammation very quickly, like 2 to 3 days. I have joint pain, get extremely exhausted, and usually have a fever." 20 to 40 pounds in days? Listen, I'm not a medical professional, but I highly doubt that. Seriously, I need to know where people got the idea that lipedema causes that much rapid weight gain, or the concept that lipedema makes it so you can't lose any weight at all. For people who are so aware of my 600-pound life, they seem to gloss right over the fact that many people on that show have lipedema and or lymphedema, and they're able to lose weight with a calorie deficit. I mean, both Amberlynn and Anna have been on Ozempic and seen results in the past. They have to know they're eating too much. And yeah, sure, everyone is a little different, and a TDEE calculator is just going to give you an estimate, but we are all human beings. We are not so unique that some of us are 500 pounds of lipedema.
You're not 700 pounds of water.
I'm getting way too angry about this. I think it's just because I've experienced the misery of thinking I couldn't lose weight because of misinformation I saw online. I attribute a lot of my ignorance to being young and not very well educated on nutrition, but these ladies are both older than me and have way more time and resources, so I guess they just missed the memo, or they're just content to live in ignorance because it would be impossible for their weight gain to be their fault. Okay, y'all, that's all I've got for you today. Honestly, I didn't even plan to film today, but I got mad and a script popped out. Thank you again for the wonderful reception of my last video, and I'll link that below in case you missed it. And thank you, of course, for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day.